everybody. Welcome to the Shadow Hunters Paranormal Investigation and Events podcast. I'm your host, Nick Sarlo, along with Diane Henry, Sharon Moritz, and Patrick Corellis. This is just some of us. Sometimes it'll switch between different podcasters, but we are not going live anymore. Now everything is just going to go right to YouTube. So, with that being said, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That definitely helps us out. Hey guys, leave comments below. We love reading all of the comments, and we will reply back. Now, this is not just your average. See, here we go. This is not just your average podcast. We do like to have some fun. So, on occasion, there could be some slip-ups. On occasion, there could be some pooty poo-poos. Right, Sharon?
She's like, what? Guys going.
I took them off because they glare.
Oh, okay. I just thought you were being just pretty.
Oh, pity. No, see.
Oh yeah, there is a glare.
See?
So what are we going to talk about tonight, kids?
Okay, tonight it's going to be Ed and Lorraine Warren. Yep.
Yeah.
This is kind of a touchy subject because of we did a lot of history and research for this one. So with Ed and Lorraine Warren, for people that don't know, they were very infamous paranormal investigators. Mm-hmm. Ed Warren was a demonologist, and Lorraine Warren, she didn't really go more towards that, but she was more of a psychic medium, or a light trance medium, is what she called herself. Is there a difference, do you think?
Well, I think there is a difference, I think, because a light trance medium would be somebody that holds seances.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, medium is different from that. So that's what she did, seances. And he was a demonologist, but he was a self-appointed demonologist. Mm-hmm. He wasn't.
He read books.
Right. He read books and he wrote books and he made himself a demonologist.
Because I don't think he was ever approved by the church, was he?
No.
That's what
it was all done by himself.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. No, I mean, Ed and Lorraine Warren, they did, a lot of cases and stuff like that. Some of their cases, though, a lot of people felt were bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which, I don't know, like, it's hard. That's why I said this is kind of an odd subject, because it's kind of hard, because I want to believe that they did all this stuff and all that, because I love the Conjuring movies, but obviously that's not exactly what happened, and Pat and I actually met
Julie.
Who did we meet, Pat?
Judy.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I mean, we met Judy Warren, and then we also met the original girl from the Conjuring house.
That's right.
And who was Judy Warren? Their daughter?
Judy Warren is Ed and Lorraine's daughter.
I thought that's right, they had a daughter. I thought they had a son.
They have a son-in-law, Tony Sparrow.
Son-in-law, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's the son-in-law of them, because him and Judy are married. Right. But yeah, I mean, we, like, for example, with the Conjuring house, Ed and Lorraine Warren were maybe in there for a total of 20 minutes. That's it. They had nothing else to do with the movie, where they played in there the whole entire time. No. What ended up happening from the Warrens stuff is Ed really wanted to do an exorcism on Mrs. Perrin. Thank you. He wanted to do an exorcism on Mrs. Perrin, and and the husband, Mr. Perrin, was like, "No, we're not doing that. You're not doing that to my wife," and all this kind of stuff. Now, it is said that they did see Mrs. Perrin, all of them in the room, including Mr. Perrin, actually float up into the air. She actually floated. So that's when all this kind of started. And Ed kept saying, "Nope, we got to do this exorcism. We got to do it." And Mr. Perrin's like, "You're not doing that." So finally, it came to a point where Mr. Perrin punched Ed Warren in the nose, almost broke his nose, and threw the Warrens out. That was the amount of time that they were in the Conjuring house. That was it. There was nothing else. I don't know, but obviously Hollywood does a good job of saying, "Oh yeah, they were in the entire house the whole time and all that." Obviously, because they want you to watch their movies and stuff, but that is not really what happened.
Right.
Mhm.
Well,
yeah.
back
also wonder-
then, back in those days, it's not like it is today. Back then, when it comes to like exorcisms and seances, and there wasn't any paranormal investigators around anywhere. They were basically kind of the only ones that anybody knew anything about. So that's how they got all their people coming to them like, "Oh, I need your help with this. I need your help with that." So that's how they were able to learn stuff and write their books. And what I want to say is they had perfect opportunity to con people.
Yes.
Because there wasn't anybody else who was going to step in and say no. Like in today's world, you can find a paranormal group around the corner from your house.
Yeah.
And if you can go to like one paranormal group and they tell you, "Oh my God, it's terrible, terrible stuff," then another one will come in and say, "No, that's not true." Nobody can con people anymore like they used to, because they can just go somewhere else and get the truth.
Yeah. And they didn't have like evidence that we can have today, like videos or EVP recordings or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, because look at how many seances that were created. People would come, and in the background they would have somebody in the closet or behind the curtain making noises, and it was all like a big con. Most of it was, and they could have been part of that too, and that's what there was one that I had was reading about. If they can profit off you, they will. This one guy, his brother was supposedly possessed, and they came in and they made a big deal out of it, and then there's a show on Netflix. It's called The Devil on Trial, and I guess it was a trial. I'm going to have to watch that. Some kind of a trial with the Warrens.
Well, there's with the Warrens, there was another trial where, it's part of the Conjuring series. It's called The Devil Made Me Do It.
Yeah.
And it had to do with that toy dinosaur and all that, where the dinosaur started moving by itself and all that. But I guess that is actually still the only case today still that they proved that the devil actually made this person do it. Like, he got off scot-free. Like, which is, that's obviously unheard of and all that. So
Yeah.
And I also wonder, like, how many people know of the Warrens, not like ever since these came out, like before that.
But like
But
Pat, huh? Good.
What?
When we were talking about evidence-based and things like that, the Enfield poltergeist.
The England, yeah,
they actually had a single mom with 4 kids they actually have a picture of them floating in the air, an actual photograph of that. So it was like there was heavy furniture being moved around, objects being thrown across the room. What was it? Two of the children, Janet and Margaret, were also photographed levitating several feet off the ground. In that one. Doesn't really say much what Ed and Lorraine found there, but it's like they were contacted and they, said there's a demon in this house.
Because I heard that case wasn't even like a good case, I guess.
Which case was this?
The Enfield poltergeist.
Enfield. It's there. That was the one in London.
England. Oh yeah.
Or England. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, it was like they made a Conjuring series out of it. It's if you watch The Conjuring 2, it has to do with that case where they go out there and all that. And that wasn't one of my favorite movies. I like the first one. The original Conjuring is good. I like that one.
I'm curious. So Nick and I went to the Warren Museum. So Judy and her husband Tony, they take it over. And it's a moving museum now. I don't know if the permanent one is still open or not anymore, but they brought all this stuff to the Paracon we were at. And I didn't realize that all these different objects, haunted objects. And I was like, they can make a movie out of that. They can make a movie out of that. So there's like so many movies they can make out of it to learn more about their different cases. And I think that's what Hollywood's going to try to do, is my guess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But so when, like Pat was just saying, you and me, we went to the Warren's Paracon in Connecticut, and we got to see most of that stuff. Now, this is where I'm not really sure, because when we went into that room, we felt completely different. And then when we left that room, we felt fine. So could it have been our minds being like, oh yeah, the stuff's actually haunted? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Like was it in our minds that everything was going on? Was it not? But then, I'm sorry, I the whole thing with the tooth.
Oh my God.
Right after meeting Annabelle.
It was here, yeah.
Boom.
That was crazy.
Like, within 15, 20 minutes after seeing her. So for people that don't know, we went to the Paracon. We were next in line to go see Annabelle. And I even asked Annabelle, I was like, look, I just want to take a picture. Can I please take a picture? I mean, no harm. I don't want any harm done to anything. No pain, no nothing. Took a picture. Everything was fine. Left the room. Pat and I decided to go get something to eat. Right after eating, I got the worst toothache I've ever had. And this was like 20, 25 minutes after meeting Annabelle. And you can ask Pat, I was in agony at the hotel. We flew home the next day. I was in so much pain. It took me almost a full year to get this tooth taken care of. It was kind of like the dentist would lose my appointment, or they couldn't get me in, or the insurance didn't go through, or it was like a whole bunch of excuses not to get this tooth out. Was it Annabelle that was causing this? I don't know. Or it could have just been coincidence. Probably. But it's weird to think about having something do that compared to, just normal coincidence. Because, you hear all this bad stuff about Annabelle, and then all of a sudden something bad happens. It's like that story with Annabelle. There was a young couple that went to go visit the museum, and Ed was giving them the tour and everything. And Ed told them, do not mock anything in this museum, because if you do, bad stuff is going to happen. Well, of course, the guy, he didn't care. He was like, yeah, whatever. He goes up to Annabelle, and he challenged Annabelle. He knocked on the glass. He's like, nah, she ain't going to do shit, blah, blah, blah. And then Ed threw him out. So they rode there on their motorcycle. Well, on the way home, guess who got in a horrible accident and died? He died, but apparently she didn't have a scratch on her, the girlfriend, because she didn't do anything. Is that another coincidence?
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody knows. So that's my thing, is like, could they have been con artists? Sure, maybe with some stuff, but maybe some of their stuff is actually real.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
sure a
right.
lot of that stuff is real, haunted and stuff.
Yeah.
But like you say, they can have the opportunities to con, and they did. But then it doesn't mean that they weren't true with other things.
Right.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Like, I still believe that, they were good paranormal, and this is just my opinion. I still believe that they were good paranormal investigators and all
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. Yeah, did they do some stuff that was kind of sketchy? Probably.
Because
I
look at
mean,
now, there's a lot of groups around that we know of that are sketchy.
Yeah.
But
You
you're going
know,
to find sketch everywhere you go, no matter
Right.
what you do.
but see, I think what it is now is a lot of people are in the paranormal field for money, and for fame.
hmm
Fame is a big one out there. Like, you have so many subscribers and all this kind of stuff on, like, Facebook, and you think you're famous and all that, but that's not the case. It's just, you're a normal average person like everybody else. Um,
hmm
Now, yeah, is it nice to have that many subscribers? Absolutely.
Oh, heck yeah.
With us, our thing is, by trying to get more subscribers, is so we can show people this stuff is real. That is our proof. If we get paid or we get money or whatever during the journey, that's an added bonus.
Mm-hmm.
And that
You
just
know,
allows us to go on more tours or more
right.
haunts and this, that, and the other. So it's not
But
like we're begging.
our thing is, it's not for fame. I don't care if we're famous or not. We're here to find ghosts. That's our job. That's
Yeah.
what we do and everything. And but I will admit, though, it's nice getting more known out there, because by getting more known, we have made so many great friends.
Mm-hmm.
Without getting known, we wouldn't have known those people
Right.
or anything.
Exactly.
And it's definitely, a fun hobby to be in. A lot of people don't think ghost hunting is a hobby. They're like, no, it's a profession. No, it's a
It's only a profession if you get paid, and
Yeah, right.
we ain't getting paid. So,
it's a
I
volunteer activity.
mean, what are your guys' thoughts on them?
On what? Lorraine and
On Ed and Lorraine Warren? Like, what do you think? Do you actually think that a lot of their stuff is or bullshit, or what do you guys think?
Well, I personally think that they were good at what they were doing. They probably helped a lot of people that we're not aware of. And they were one of the first paranormal investigators, for starters. And I think they did do some con artist stuff. I can't prove it, but from stuff that I've read, it's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
And they could have gotten away with it because being, the only ones around that did that kind of stuff. But I'm sure they did help a lot of people.
Absolutely.
There's things, because they're a very heavily Roman Catholic, and Lorraine was known to say, if you don't have faith, then you're gonna get attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, with statements like that, those are more of a fear factor kind of thing. Well, I gotta make sure I have my faith,
Mm-hmm.
or the demons and stuff are gonna get me. Which, according to a lot of religions, that's the way you believe. If I don't do what my religion tells me to do, then I'm gonna go to hell, per se.
Right.
But I honestly believe that they found a lot of evidence that we'll never be able to see or disprove, because, like we said before, there's not a stack. Okay, well, here's the video, or here's the EVPs or seance or whatever. is it? I because I know of things that Ed has been accused of. Unfortunately, with me, that just kind of you can be a good. What am I trying to say here?
Mhm.
Be a good paranormal investigator without being a good person.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
so, but I do. I think that they did find a lot of stuff that we will never know.
Mhm.
And they did open up the door to make the paranormal a little more normal.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
instead of
exactly.
locking us up and be like, oh,
Yeah.
she's talking about ghosts again. Get in the paddy wagon.
No, then that's
Yeah, I
a
think.
good point.
I mean, I believe them. I just like both of you said. I think they may have faked a couple things, but I think back then it may have been harder to like fake things than it is now because you could get Photoshop and phones and everything. Back then they just had whatever little cameras, no digital, just whatever things that could grab pictures of stuff. The videos were really grainy, so it's kind of hard to tell if you could. But then I don't know. Now that it could be easier if the videos are grainy. Now that I think of it, but yeah, I believe them. I think it's hard to make something like this up and get an object from something and store it in like a room in your house and from all your cases. I think they actually just worked on it as part of their like main professions.
Yeah.
And the more the word got out about these cases, the more popular they became. And yeah.
No, yeah. And it just with fame, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to come up behind you and say you're full of shit. Every time
yeah.
somebody that's on there, they're going to be like, you're a liar. And it's like,
Right.
what? So that's why it's so hard with this. I never met them. I haven't really delved into them and really kind of knew the kind of equipment they used or the kind of the way they would do things. So it's like it would have been neat to go on an investigation with them. I'd have been scared crapless. I still would have gone and been like, hey, let's check that out.
It would definitely be fun. And like there's other YouTube channels that have done like investigations, in their museum and all that. And they said like it's crazy, it's scary. I don't know. But yeah, it would definitely be fun to have gone on an investigation with them. But I don't know.
There we go. We're ending it with we don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Isn't that what paranormal investigating is? What is that? I don't know. Looks like this to me.
Pretty much. I think it's a ghost. I'm not sure. But I don't know. So let us know in the comment section below what you guys think about Ed and Lorraine Warren. Keep it clean. We'll just put it that way. Keep it clean. Because YouTube will block your comment. Not us. YouTube does block your comment. So just keep it clean. But let us know what you think. You think Annabelle's real? Do you think it's false? Just let us know. Like I said, we love reading all the comments. I share all the comments with everybody on the team, so they'll all get to see it too. And then if they have some input that they want to put into it, they'll let me know, and we'll put it down and stuff. But thank you guys so much for watching our first podcast on YouTube. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. That way we can get all these videos out there and everybody can kind of know what we're trying to do. And that's just explain that this stuff is real. That's why we're here and that's what we do.
Yeah. And any questions, suggestions of other podcast topics, drop a comment.
Absolutely. Let us know if there's any other topic that you want us to talk about. Next week, though, we're going to have a very interesting topic. We're going to be talking about Ed Gein. I'm going to see if I can possibly get Zach Wenzel on our podcast because he just did a whole big thing on Ed Gein. I'm going to see if I can get him on, and we'll talk to him about some of the stuff with Ed Gein. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and remember to subscribe.
Okie dokie.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.